Okay, let's talk about the finger control technique. So the first thing you need to do before working on individual fingers, because finger control technique, as it says, means controlling strokes with your fingers, and this is very literally all your fingers, like every finger individually. But before we do that, we gotta find the point of balance with a stick, like, you know, when it bounces back. And when I said with wrist technique, your thumb needs to look to the side and the back of your hand, it looks up to you. So this is very different. Now you turn your hand around, and the thumb is actually up. The thumb is looking up, and you're only controlling with your fingers now, because this has, of course, healthy reasons. Like, for instance, if you play with your wrist and you turn your hand like this and you hit in this kind of way, then you can really hurt your wrist. So after turning the thumb to you, you gotta find the point of balance. And you do this by just doing single strokes, and try really to only control it with your fingers and all those fingers. Once again, the thumb and index finger are holding the stick. The thumb looks up to you. This is very important. And your fingers are doing this kind of thing. So if you take the stick in your hand, this is what you do. And when I play this, I could even hold my wrist and still having a solid amount of strokes out of it, because my wrist is not moving, it's still. And that's the point. And after you found the point of balance, and you really need time to, I wouldn't grab the stick too much far back, as well it won't be a good idea to have it too much in the front. So you really have to find your own position, and this, of course, you do this, you find this position by playing and playing and playing, of course. But let's just bounce and find your position. And what you do then is you try to work on each hand individually. Like, first, let's see the right hand. You found your point of balance, and now the next step would be getting comfortable with using every finger. The same thing that you do, like pushing the stick down with all your 3 fingers, which are not holding the stick. Your middle finger could do this alone. So right hand is doing this first, only the middle finger. And you try to get control. It's not about speed, you get all the time of the world, and just do this and try to get comfortable with only controlling with the middle finger. Next thing, ring finger. You try to control it with the ring finger, then your position might slightly change. You do this, and the pinky, the small finger, is last, of course. Only using the small finger. And try to balance it. And it's important that this section in the hand, where the stick is holding, this is closed here. So you can play more efficiently. And before you give this whole thing a time signature, you really have to get comfortable with that kind of motion. So that's the method, and that's how the technique goes. And after you trained all the fingers individually, you will be able to play more solid strokes and get more control, because you've trained every finger individually. And so you can then take, and that's the big advantage of the finger control technique, then you can take the power of all those 3 fingers and really push out solid strokes. The point is now to see it from a more extreme drummers kind of perspective. This technique is very good for, of course, playing blast beats. because blast beats are mainly single strokes, yeah. When you know this method, when you found your point of balance, and you worked out the technique and really can control some strokes with all your fingers, then now you need to practice all the 3 fingers individually for each hand in an extreme way. And what this means, I can tell you now. So, here's the metronome. Let's move on to some top speeds. You know, whatever. I just take some random speed like 120, which equals 240. This would be the tempo. And what we have to do here is like training each finger individually. And on this tempo, and if your top speed is lower, then just start, you know, a little slower, of course. And what you need to do now is playing 8 measures of 4/4 on 120, 16 notes, with only using the middle finger. Then second, only 8 bars, 8 measures only using the ring finger. And then the small finger plays 4 measures. That's because here there's a connection between those 2 fingers. If you overtrain them, it won't be good for your hand. 8 bars middle finger, 8 bars ring finger, and 4 bars small finger. And then you repeat the whole thing. And when you're not too comfortable with the finger control, then start on a really slow tempo and don't do too powerful hits. Just hit very light and very solid and controlled at a slow tempo. 8 measures with your middle finger, then 8 measures with your ring finger, 4 with the small finger. But once you've found your way through all those exercises, and you feel comfortable with this kind of finger control technique, then you can put on the metronome on a certain tempo and start working on that. And I can really recommend to do this 8-8-4 measure exercise. And this is how it actually works. Now, ring finger. One, 2, 3, 4. Small finger. So, you do this with both of your hands, like also with the right hand, like just middle finger, ring finger, small finger. And once you've done, you immediately repeat it. So what you can do now is a circle of playing 8 measures with the middle finger, 8 measures with the ring finger, 4 measures with the small finger, and then instantly 8 with the ring finger, 8 with the middle finger, 8 with the ring finger, and 4 again with the small finger. So you've done 2 circles of all the fingers. And really be patient, and really don't stress your fingers too much. If you feel any kind of pain, immediately stop and work on something else, or stop playing for the rest of the day. It's really important that you give yourself a rest. Really, the only way to get full control is train each finger individually. The only way to get endurance with that and really powerful strokes is to practice every finger for a certain amount of measures on a high tempo.